Welcome back to my channel. We have got so much to discuss when it comes to disgraced on and off again teen mom star Jenelle Evans. Where do we even begin? First of all, I am starting to think that she's got a crush on someone who works over at CPS, the way that she is always trying to catch a case. 3 kids and multiple cases per child. Is this someone who is like this neglectful, or is this someone who is in love with someone at the offices and just wants as many visits as possible? I low-key think that it is a mixture of the two of them. Now let's talk about the Kaiser situation. I did publish a video a couple days ago talking about how Jenelle sent Kaiser to live with his paternal grandma, Doris, aka Nathan, her second baby daddy's mother. And now news is coming out via the U.S. Sun that the reason why Jenelle even sent Kaiser to live with Doris is because CPS was knocking at her door. She knew that they were about to come around and start questioning her on Kaiser and Jace's behavior that got them in trouble in their local school district. Mind you, Jenelle just moved from the Carolinas to Vegas. The kids were already having issues in school. I believe Kaiser was already expelled from school at that point. We heard about Jace getting suspensions and expulsions. Listen, this is nothing against the kids, right? When you come from this kind of environment, right? This is bound to happen, unfortunately. That's why it's so important to be in a good place mentally, economically, etc. before having kids, because otherwise this is the result. They suffer, right? And so she moved states and they're still having the same problems, because guess what? The problem at the end of the day is Jenelle. And so long as Jenelle is still there, repeating the same patterns, the same things are going to continue to happen. Most notably, the pattern of bringing random strange men around these children that, should not really be around them. AKA, we saw this with Jace and Nathan. Then we saw this with the 2 boys, because at that point it was Jason Kaiser. And then we had David coming around. There were other men in between. There was a Gary. There was like a Cortland. And now there is, did I talk about David? There was a David. And now there is this August Keen person, right? Like, it's just too much chaos, too many strange men having, unfiltered access to these children as well. So there have been a lot of rumors as to why it is that the kids were getting in trouble in school. I'm not sure if I'm going to, touch on those publicly, because they seem to be, rather alarming things. But the gist of it is that the 2 of them are having issues in school. And this is nothing new for Jenelle. And on top of that, drugs have been mentioned. One thing about Jenelle and drugs is that all 3 of her children, correct me if I'm wrong, but it has been reported that all 3 of them were born with some sort of drug in their system. And this is a very, very shocking, devastating thing to even, imagine that someone kept putting their kids through time and time again, right? And so I feel like that already sets off alarm bells when it comes to Jenelle. And so the idea that, that might be coming back in the picture here is something that CPS is allegedly, investigating. There's also claims from a 911 call as well. Remember, we did a story about August Keen calling 911 on Jenelle. He accused her of drinking all day, about having about 12, glasses of alcohol as well. So CPS does not appreciate that either. And so now, according to the U.S. Sun, that is why she went and abruptly shipped Kaiser off to Tennessee, out of the state, to live with Nathan's mother. They were saying that, okay, she did not want their eyes to be too heavy on her. Here's a direct quote. CPS is involved and Jenelle does not want any legal action against her. That's partially why she suddenly sent Kaiser to his grandma's. The source continued on to say, and I quote, "She didn't tell him why, because she didn't want him to say anything before she got him out of the state." Now, the U.S. Sun did reach out to CPS. They said that they couldn't really comment too much because of child confidentiality laws, which I understand. Doris, however, did release a statement to the U.S. Sun saying that her job is to see that Kaiser is protected from all this negativity. Kaiser can now read, and he doesn't need to read negative things about his mother or father. I refuse to partake in mudslinging and measures to destroy one's character, even if I disagree with their actions. So basically, she's saying, Jenelle Lane ish, but you're not about to catch me talking ish about her, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, that is my grandson's mother. Now, here's the crazy part, though, you guys. Jenelle has already run back to Tennessee to go and get Kaiser back. So I'm kind of confused here as to what exactly is going on. She just shipped him off. She got a whole lot of backlash because people were like, that's so crazy that you would ship him off to another state to stay until like, what is the end of school year? Like May, June, like for several months. Like he's nothing to you. Like that is crazy. She caught an awful lot of heat. And now she has been photographed in an airplane with Kaiser, is seemingly going back to Vegas with him because she could not take all of the backlash that she got from this decision. So I guess she landed back in Vegas safely because she was already getting her Twitter fingers on, attacking everybody and not having any sort of introspection. Okay, so first of all, she claimed to be the best mother she could be for all her children. She called out a source who talked about calling CPS on her. Here's her exact tweet. Quote, I called myself and reported her myself once, and obviously everything you said was a lie because every case I've ever had against me was dropped. Good try, though. I have custody of all my kids for a reason. Keep talking ish and putting me down because I'm the best mother I can be 24/7. Then she called out her estranged husband, David Eason's sister, April, saying, April Eason, you want to talk to my kids but haven't seen them in months, yet want to talk to the son about my children? What the F kind of aunt are you? And bragging to people about your behavior, you're literally insane. And one of her followers responded to her dragging April by saying, hey, like, you know, she was good enough for Jace to live with while you defended your child abusing, dog killing husband, though. And then Jenelle quoted that by saying she was the one selling articles back then about Jace, and she bragged about it recently. She was not a good fit to take care of my son, and I cannot believe I was fooled that hard to think she would protect him. You know, the thing about Jenelle is she lacks so much self-awareness. It's crazy because here she is acting like this is an insult to April, right? April was selling stories about me. I can't believe I thought she'd protect my son. Jenelle, you were supposed to protect your son. You could have kept your son in your house with you, but you chose David over your son. So how, like, this is what is going on here? We're not supposed to drag April in this situation. The problem is you. I just can't with this woman sometimes, but anyway, I digress. Guys, how do you feel about this latest drama following the teen mom controversial star around? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to keep an eye on all of this because it really is just wild to imagine that CPS is already sniffing around yet again. One thing about her is that she's always going to have an open CPS case on at least one of her children. I cannot recall a time in which she had no extreme drama following her and those poor kids. It's all just so sad to see and to hear. And you know, it makes me sad that irresponsible people like this continue to just pop kids out and to make them suffer. I feel so bad for Jace. I feel so bad for Kaiser. I feel so bad for Ensley. They deserve so much more out of life than this. They really do, you know, but when you have a start like this, it's really difficult. You are fighting against, like, you know, what is it? You're taking off. Is it against the wind? You're taking off against the wind, and it's hard. It really, really is. So, you know, God bless those kids. I really hope that they can turn this around moving forward, you guys. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.